So a number of you have asked about my audio rig and my video rig. And so what I thought I'd do is I'd just do a little demonstration. It turns out I have a number of other microphones other than the one I have here, ones that you can buy at Best Buy or at the Apple Store or online through other retailers. And so I thought I'd do a comparison to give you a sense of what the different kinds of mics are so you can kind of hear them for yourself and see how they potentially work in this kind of situation. As I mentioned before, my rig here is a professional audio rig. I have an Electro Voice RE320 broadcast mic that is connected to a whole bunch of processing gear that is processing my voice in a number of different ways to keep it from getting too loud and trying to prevent me from getting too soft. It actually has something known as an expander or a gate involved. So when something background noise comes up and I'm not talking, it actually goes silent, and so you don't hear it. So you don't actually hear the fan that I have turned on for ambient noise, the music playing in the other room, the dog barking outside, or probably even me typing on the laptop. So this microphone is one that is tuned to be right at this location for me to talk to it. This is the comfortable microphone location that I've grown up with and essentially got used to doing. So that's why it's this way. It's what's known as a dynamic mic, which means it's one that's specifically designed to pick up on louder sounds and sort of reject softer sounds. It's designed with a cardioid pickup pattern. Now, all the microphones that I'll be demonstrating, with the exception of the one on my Mac, are all cardioid as well, which means they are more sensitive in the front than they are to the back. And in this particular mic, it's really not sensitive on the back. So it's all up front. So I'm going to take my microphone now and turn it, and you'll kind of get a sense of what actually happens. As I turn the microphone away, it gets really soft, and you can barely hear me when I turn on the processing things. Now I'll turn the microphone back to me, and you can hear it pretty straightforward. So it's something I have to be on top of it. It's rejecting all the noise around me and gives me the sound that you hear when I'm doing video conferences with all of you. So now I'm going to go through a number of different tests. I have my Mac and the built-in video camera and audio from a rather old Macintosh webcam setup to give you a sense of what that's like. Then some of these other mics. Listen for, what I suggest you do is listen for the quality of the sound, what it sounds like close and far away, whether or not you hear the laptop noise when I put that up. And then, also check to get the sense of the reverberance of the room. There's that echo, there's that hollowness that comes in if you get too far away from a mic, and each microphone responds differently to that. This, you don't have it because I'm right on top of it. And as a result, I do sound like I'm on the radio, but that's by design. So without further ado, we'll switch and go through some audio demos, and then I'll come back afterwards and close this out. So for this first setup, I'm using a webcam. I'm actually using a webcam on my older Mac, so it's not quite state-of-the-art. It's not really that great. I'm also using the microphone that's built into the monitor. So this is the closest thing I can do on my personal setup to give us kind of the laptop feel. Now, you'll notice that the audio level is lower. You notice the video quality is what it is. It's a different kind of camera. So the difference between a webcam, and a pretty good one in fact, and my photography camera that I'm using as a video camera is huge. And so, having better video is great, but how do you hear me? And that's one of the things I want to share here. Now, again, I do have the fan blowing, and it's kind of blowing in front of me. There's some background noise, which I don't know if you can hear, but fundamentally, I've created an environment that might be close to somebody's house. So this is what it sounds like with the built-in features of a rather vintage Macintosh. All right, so I don't know if you can hear me all that well, but this is a blue Snowball. It's about a $100 mic. It's been around forever. It's actually a pretty good mic in many respects. You may or may not hear me because it's using kind of a cardioid pickup. It's called a condenser mic, and that means it's particularly sensitive to all the noise around it. So you hear me speaking. It doesn't have any processing. It's a USB mic going straight into my Mac. I'm using my better camera this time. But that's what this mic is. It has a lot of different features and things, about $100, but it is a condenser mic. I can be a little further away from it, but it does have the ability to pick up some background noise. So I'm going to wait here. and you might hear some additional noise in the background. It's a very clean and crisp and clear mic. Now the distance between me and the microphone right now is about that much, okay? About the length of my head. So that's about how far away I am from this. If I was to move it further away, so maybe back, sorry, I hit another thing on my desk, move it back to being about, I would say a foot and a half to maybe 18 inches away, this is what the audio would be. So if you had your laptop in front of you and typing, you'd hear the typing because it's right there. If I pull the microphone closer to me, then here's the typing again. So this is a very good mic, and again, it's been around for a long time. $100, not too bad, and it's, I think, a pretty good one that you might want to consider at some point, or you might even have one and didn't even think about using it. So the mic I'm using right now is something known as an Apogee Hype mic. I might actually be hitting it a little hard, but at any rate, it is another condenser mic. It's about a $250 mic. It's got some equipment built in called a compressor that does all sorts of things. But fundamentally, it's plugged in through my USB port again. I'll hold it up here. It looks like this. Now, the screen in front of it is called a pop filter. That keeps me from putting plosives on it. So when I that little bit of screen keeps it from bumping in the air from hitting the microphone really hard. So this is another kind of condenser mic. It's a very recent mic. It was manufactured, I think, last year. Again, $250 mic. Apogee makes some great equipment. And so this is something, again, that you could consider. I actually have a mic stand from Radio Shack that, if anybody remembers what Radio Shack is, supporting it. So I've got that. Like any condenser mic, you always hear movement. You always hear those sorts of things. So I'll give you the typing test. So there's me typing. So that's what a Hype mic is. I'm about 18 inches away right now, so you can also get a sense of what it is between the distance between my voice and being further away and with the typing. So again, same conditions. Background noise. Actually, the furnace just turned on in my office here. Got the fan going. Got some background stuff. And so there you have it. That is an Apogee Hype mic. $250. Again, about 18 inches away, maybe a foot to 18 inches away right now. So it can be a little further back on your desk. The same kind of pickup pattern idea, but has a different sonic quality associated with it. So I hope you found this demonstration useful and informative, ranging, for microphones that you got built in and what our laptops do, which isn't that great. And, when the fan turns on, you hear nothing but whirring fan, and you can hear people typing and all that sort of stuff. There's something a little better on the machine itself, but then to a $100 mic, a $250 mic, and a setup that I won't even go into what it is. The thing that I think, I hope you heard is sort of the differences when you're near and far away from a microphone and these different kinds of mics, that will have a huge difference in terms of your sound quality. The other thing that I think is really important, and we really do want to operate our laptops and things with our headphones out and just let the speakers play, but that's how you get feedback. That's how weird things with regard to GoToMeeting or Teams or Zoom start doing strange things where it cuts off the ends of audio or starts late and you're soft and loud. It's trying to reject background noise. And so I always recommend that unless you've got something very tightly configured, and I've spent a lot of time tightly configuring mine so I could actually have the speakers on low and not for my laptop and not be picked up by this mic. But generally speaking these days, I've now gone to just always using headphones. I don't use the headphone mic. I just use the earbuds and listen to everything that way so that you get the best quality audio to the customer, to the viewer that's out there. And so you don't have that chance for feedback. You don't have the chance for the software trying to second guess the way everything works and trying to decide if it should turn you on or turn you off in terms of your volume. And so that's something that I recommend that you wear some kind of headphones in all of this. You also notice I kind of thread it through my shirt and things. I hate the sort of the black cable hanging on top. And if you look at broadcasters and things, they always sort of thread the microphone someplace and all those sorts of things. And it just adds a little bit of an edge or a polish to it. I know it's really tough for all of us to do that. And a lot of you have kids and other folks and you have to deal with other things. I don't. I'm in the sense that the home office situation, I'm pretty lucky that way. I only have leaf blower Fridays to worry about. But nevertheless, I take the audio part seriously. You can have great video, but frankly, the audio is going to make or break anything that you're doing in terms of communication. So it's something that, hopefully you've heard it, you've had some experience with it, and I hope you find this useful. And it was kind of fun to make for me to kind of go around and figure out how to make all this work. So have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon somewhere on some video conference.